The amber glow of a late afternoon sun bathed the campus of Kentucky State University in a honeyed light. It was the kind of September day that felt borrowed from summer crickets humming in the still lush grass, students lounging on blankets with textbooks open but unread. The air thick with the scent of cut grass and possibility. For a few more moments, it was a postcard of college life, a dream generations in the making. In Laughter Hall, a political science lecture was winding down. The professor, Dr. Evans, was making a final point about civic responsibility. His words floating over the drowsy heads of 20-odd students. Among them was Marcus, a senior from Louisville with a smile that took up his whole face, texting his mom about the perfect grilled cheese he was going to make for dinner. Next to him, Chloe, a sophomore with a passion for botanical illustration, absent-mindedly sketched a vine in the margin of her notebook, her earbud playing a soft lo-fi beat. The clock ticked towards 4:15 p.m. The sound, when it came, was wrong. It wasn't a car backfiring on Frankfort's quiet streets. It wasn't a textbook slamming shut. It was a crack sharp, definitive, and utterly alien in this space of reasoned debate and growing minds. A pause, hanging in there like a held breath, then another, and another. Dr. Evans's sentence died on his lips. The lo-fi beat in Chloe's ear was drowned out by the drumbeat of her own heart, a frantic gallop against her ribs. Marcus's phone slipped from his fingers, the text to his mom and sent. In that crystalline second of horror, the campus postcard shredded. What followed was a symphony of terror, conducted in chaotic, dissonant movements. The slam of a door, the scramble under desks, bodies folding into themselves, becoming smaller, the choked, whispered pleas to a God they hoped was listening. Not here, please, not here. The metallic scent of fear, sharp and acrid, cut through the smell of old paper and floor polish. Outside, the pastoral scene shattered. The lounging students became a scattering flock, sprinting across the quad, backpacks abandoned, blankets left as colorful crime scene markers. The hum of insects was replaced by the rising wail of sirens, a sound that seemed to come from every direction at once, converging on this hallowed ground, turning it into something else entirely. We know the cold facts now, the ones that flashed onto AP News and The Guardian alerts, the ones that trended with a grim, algorithmic inevitability. *1 student dead, 1 critically injured, suspect in custody. But the story is not in those lines. The story is in the vibration of 100 phones buzzing simultaneously with frantic texts from parents who had seen the first cryptic tweet. Active shooter reported at KSU. The story is in the tremor of Ara's voice as she barricaded a dormitory lounge door with a sofa her own fear locked away so she could be a pillar for the trembling and first years huddled behind her. The story is Marcus, pressing himself against the cold cinder block wall of that classroom, his grilled cheese dream gone, replaced by a single, searing memory of his little sister's laugh. It is Chloe, her sketchbook forgotten on the floor, her fingers digging into the carpet. Each gunshot a punctuation mark in a sentence she never wanted to read. And for the nation watching, for the U.S. audience following yet another school shooting story, the analysis began to trend alongside the video news. The pundits' voices, grave and familiar, filled cable news panels. The maps of campuses across America, once symbols of pride, now felt like blueprints for tragedy. There was a horrific, numbing ritual to it, the vigil lights flickering on social media, the politicians offering thoughts and prayers like stones tossed into a bottomless well of grief, the activists' cries for change rising into a weary, desperate chorus. But in Frankfort, as the blue and red lights strobed against the historic brick buildings, the analysis meant nothing. In a hospital room, a family clung to each other, their world narrowed to the beep of a single monitor, willing their child someone's Chloe, someone's Marcus back from the edge. In a quiet office, a detective gently placed personal effects into a bag for parents who would soon receive the call. That shatters a universe. The suspect was in custody. The campus, now a tapestry of yellow tape and forensic markers, would eventually be cleaned. The students would return, heavy-eyed, to finish degrees that now felt irrevocably tinged with loss. But the echo of those cracks in the golden afternoon would not fade. It joined a terrible, growing echo chamber across this country, a sound that started in Columbine, rang through Virginia Tech, Sandy Hook, Parkland, Michigan State, and now here, in this quiet corner of Kentucky. It is the sound of a promise broken. The promise that a classroom is a sanctuary. That a campus is a place to grow, not to die. That a backpack should hold textbooks, not a shield. The story of Kentucky State University is not just a news point. It is the smell of fresh-cut grass now forever married to the smell of cordite. It is a half-finished sketch of a vine, left on a classroom floor. It is a text to mom about grilled cheese, forever marked and sent. And for every American listening, it is a question, screamed into the static. When does a trend become a turning point? When does the analysis finally demand an end to the story?